2, 1. Let's go. Your midday sports report and analysis. Tuning in from Law Nation Studios. From yours truly. Come on. Happy holidays to you and you. And you over there eating the oodles and noodles. As the room fill up, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. Come on. Let's get it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Yo. Come on. Stand tall, y'all. But don't stand at all. Appreciate you and you and you over there. Let me know if we are live on Facebook. Let me know if you guys can hear me on the YouTube correctly. The name is Law Nation, and without hesitations nor deviations, please, ladies and gentlemen, tell that like button to lean forward just a little bit, you know. And you got to smash that like button, slap it around. You know how it goes, Cowboy Nation. You know. Shout out to you, Mike and Donald. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all can hear me okay, great. You see, in the studio, I still got the lights on from the other episode. Let me blow them off. Them street lights be hitting, don't it? You know. What's good, Tavis? Appreciate you. Lamont, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are present, let me know by hitting that like button. Present. If you're present today, let me know. All right, so I see you. Lamb talk. Yeah, goat talk. When you're talking lamb, you just might as well go over to goat talk, right? Lamb been remarkable for us. He's been a guy that's on pace to having a similar year of what Dez Bryant had his third season, minus the drops. I ain't throwing no shade at Dez, but Dez had like 11 to 12 drops his third season, and Lamb only got 4. Lamb been remarkable. Lamb is wide receiver 1. No 2, no 3. He is wide receiver 1. And we got a chance to see the growth of Lamb, right? And I think the world of him, and I think that, you know, he's fitting right into the shoes of wearing 88. There's no wide receiver that wore 88, by the way, in their first 3 seasons, established the levels of production that Lamb presented to us so far, or old folks say thus far, right? You gone, learn today. Happy holidays to everyone at Law Nation. Appreciate you. And before it slips my mind, shout out to Ricky Mack. He the one that sent me this hoodie. And shout out to him and his company. If you guys want to send me stuff, I got my address in the description box. Feel free to send me items, and I'll showcase it, just like I got, other things that people send me throughout the year. And I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. People thinking of me, and they just say, hey, man, I like hoodies, and I like where you wear hoodies, so I'm going to send one out to you. And I think it got, Law Nation on the back of it. Let me see. Let me know if y'all can see the back of it, got, oh, boy, when you get by my age, you got Law Nation somewhere on the back of it. So shout out to him. That's dope, man. So when I'm walking around Dallas, they can say, hey, man, you Law Nation, right, man? You Law Nation. Yeah, so I appreciate it, man. That was a good gift. And on top of that, Ricky Mack sent me a jersey to give to Boss Cowboy Sports. And Boss literally stayed right down the street from me. So I'm going to have to reach out to him and give him one of these jerseys, or hoodies. I keep saying jerseys. So I appreciate y'all for what y'all do for the community. that let me know we doing something right. Yeah, the mic was in the way. All right, let me try it one more time. All right, hold on. We building the plane while it's in the air. I'm trying to, hold on. All right. Can y'all see it now? Get out the way, Mike. All right. Can you see it? Were you able to see it? Appreciate you. It said Law Nation somewhere on the back. Woo. It was difficult turning around in this tight space, baby. But I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Ricky and all what he do to the community. And he's from Mississippi, so let me know I got some Mississippi ties everywhere. We see it. Appreciate you. Keegan. Shout out to the Keegan Waters, too. All right, so what I want to get off first, we would never get the respect that we're looking for. That's just how it goes. We shouldn't be looking for respect. We are public enemies, number one, to most teams. The Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, I get it. We got people inside that can't stand Dak Prescott. And that's just how it goes. So validation is only good for parking. And Dak Prescott versus winning teams. Remember, people was talking about, hey, man, this is what his record was against winning teams. He below blah, blah, blah. He can't beat winning teams. But boom. Already, get that off my face, though. Get that off my face. Come on. Already, Dak Prescott is 7-1 versus winning records. Let me repeat. Dak Prescott, and this should be a team stat, but, heavy is the crown. Dak Prescott is 7-1 versus teams with a winning record. I'm going to keep saying it again. Dak Prescott is 7-1. Can I see 7-1 down the chat stream there? Can I see 7-1? Let me see 7-1 down the stream there. Let me see 7-1. Let me see 7-1. Can y'all put that in the chat box? 7-1. Shout out to you, Trey. Appreciate you. Yeah, I got somebody. Jermetta, appreciate you. Ben, appreciate you. JJ Newton, appreciate you. Okay, Lamont. Just for correction, the Dallas Cowboys are 7-1, but, I just wanted to put that out there because at some point they were saying that this particular quarterback can't win against teams that are above that record and or just got a winning record. I call it moving the goalposts. That's just how it goes. They continue to move the goalposts over and over again, and there's nothing we can do about it, right? We just have to sit back and listen to the pundits and critics. They really don't have anybody that can fight hard for the Cowboys on these 4-ladder or 3-ladder networks. But when it comes down to it, it is what it is at this point. The Dallas Cowboys continue to strive better than what they were under the previous administration, under the previous regime, right? It's just what it is, Cowboy Nation, as much as people like to say that. But I got my guy Andre Jackson with some good deed of information about this. But let me pull this up again. This is what they do, man. They continue to move the goalposts. When losing an argument, I seen just continue to move the goalposts. It's nothing we can do, and I'm building this while we're flying, by the way. They just continue to move the goalposts. This is what the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder network brings to the table. Just like this is what Dan Orlowski said about this.
This is the first game that they have played well offensively versus a defense ranked in the top half of the NFL. That 7-1 record is loaded with bad teams that they played against and padded stats versus bad defenses.
So the argument now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, is that, yeah, that's cool, that's 7-1, but it was against teams that have bad defenses. Oh, my God, I can't make this stuff up, man. Whoa.
Shame. Shame.
What else you want from me?
Shame.
I need to find that drop right there from Tyrese. You know, this is what they do to us, man. They continue to move said goalposts over and over and over again. Now, I get it. You know, it's funny, right? It's laughable. It's one of those things. So that's why I tell people all the time, validation is only good for parking. It's only good for parking. Cowboys just got to do their thing. We got 2 games to get right. And on top of that, that's just the reality of it. 2 games to get right. I'm literally hearing Eagles fans still crying, still saying that, hey, if Jalen Hurts was there, they would have won. They would have scored 41. So all of a sudden, Jalen Hurts scored 26 points against us in the first meeting. And Jalen Hurts, when he played us last year, when they were healthy, when we were healthy, before they kind of rest them in the last stretch, can somebody pull up that final score? Matter of fact, I'll do it myself. Let me see. If I go here, let me see if I can fix this thing up. Let's see if we can find this this conversational piece, because that they keep moving the goalposts. They keep moving it around. All right, so that's 26-17, and the Dallas Cowboys. Let me see what he did. Let me because I must be off a little bit with all of my analysis, because my years may be off. What, it was week 3? It was week 3 when the Cowboys played in 2021. Yeah, it was week 3 with Jalen Hurts. Okay, Jalen Hurts was in that game somewhere, right? Let's go all the way down. They scored 21 points. 41. They got the 41 points, right? But Jalen Hurts, when he was healthy and he had weapons, they had defense. I'm quite remembering that last year, leading up to this game, they were saying that nobody can throw on Slay and nobody could run on the Eagles, right? That was their battle cry. And when it was healthy versus healthy, it ended up 41-21. But somehow, Jalen Hurts, who never scored 30 points on us, will all of a sudden score 30 points on us. Instead of him scoring 26 points, he would have figured out magically to score 30. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if that could be even possible, right? But Lord, Jalen Hurts changed, man. He got more and more weapons, more and more opportunities. The defense was better. This was better. Well, bull sugar. Didn't Howie Roseman was the guy that accumulated talent over there? Oh, all of a sudden this year he accumulated talent? Come on. Come on. What makes him? Remember, we was arguing off season and we said that, hey, we don't know. We don't know if they are a 20-point gap improvement from what they were last year, right? So now I see that all of a sudden Jalen Hurts, he not only play offense, but the brother is a full-time player, and he plays free safety. Maybe he's an edge rusher. Maybe he's a defensive lineman. Oh, maybe he's a DB as well. Because all I can see is that in the last averages of time, when it was time for the Cowboys to play, not that one. Let me see if I got it right here. When it's time for the Cowboys to play, that this brother, he averaging. Let me see if I can make it cute for those who can't see. He's averaging 35.25. That's close to 36 points every encounter. But somehow, Hurts will make up the differences. I can't make this stuff up. But let the Eagles fans argue with the truths and the facts and play in the streets. You let them play in the streets. Let them play in the streets. Let listen to
Your
Jerry
next
Wayne.
36 hours. Would it have affected Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And am I biting?
All right, my God, Mr. 316, the movie star, Eagles fans. If there was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Take the L like Monty. It is what it is, right? It's one of those things where we give them graces, we pay them respect. We let them know, hey, man, y'all got a damn good defense. You guys got a great system in place. They don't like us when we say, hey, man, y'all got a good defense, man. It's looking really good. What you mean we got a good defense? We got a great defense. Hey, man, I'm just trying to give you respect. Hey, man, your quarterback is playing unbelievable, man, for this system. What you mean my quarterback is in the system? They don't even know when we giving them respect. We giving them respect. Hey, man, the system that your quarterback plays in is a really good one. It was good enough for even Gardner Minshew threw for 355 yards. And excuse me, anybody with natural eyes that can see those interceptions, both interceptions, they were really takeaways. Our DBs took it away.
Thief! Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
They literally took it away. Took it away. But you listen to the Eagles, they going to try to chop down what Gardner Minshew did so that they can elevate and lift up the brother quarterback, the Jalen Hurts over there. I ain't going to call him brother because now people think I'm only saying it because he's a brother. But they trying to cut down Minshew to lift up Jalen Hurts when that's not the case nor the scenario. Gardner was slanging that thing around. I'm clearly looking at Gardner, and I'm sitting here saying that, man, he would do wonders for the Colts. He would do wonders for, the Saints. He would do wonders for maybe the Jets. He got a good resume out there. Maybe they can parlay him and put him over there and let him perform against Russell Wilson. But that's a story of another day, right? So it is. We can't even, look, we to the point we can't even give them respect, man, without them kind of trying to complain about that. Our receivers need to be more physical in the playoff. Dak is playing well. They have to be on the same page. And that I agree with you, Ken.
Dracarys.
Yeah, Dracarys for that one, the receivers got to be on the same page. They must be on the same page. Yeah, sir. SL Green he took the ball away.
Thief! Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
Oh my God, he took that ball, man. My chain now, Punk. He took that man chain, ball, and everything. He took the pride from Quez Watkins. Jalen Hurts like this is the body of the receiver. Jalen Hurts said he raced around and give me this ball. The ball was coming in like this. Let me use this as the ball was coming in. The mic is the receiver. The ball was coming in. And J-Rock was like, all right, give me that. You know what I'm saying? J-Rock took that ball. Minshew put the ball where it was supposed to be. It's coming. This is the ball, Eagles fans. I know y'all football intellect may be off a little bit because you're blinded with hate. But here's the ball coming in. And J-Ron took the ball and snatched it from him. And the same thing for Dayron. J-Ron and Dayron. Them jokers thief.
Thief! Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
The ball was coming in. It belonged to him. As the ball coming in, I wish I had some panoramic slow motion stuff coming in. One man, one interception away. but the body is in front of the receiver. The ball is coming. The DB reached around, and he took it away. Ron Jaworski, ESPN News. You know?
Thief! Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
That's how I mean. Give me some dramatic music on this. That's what we need to do. Give me some dramatic. I got some dramatic theme music. Oh, I got my Andy music. Yeah, let me do this one. Let me do a commercial B-roll for it. You know. Where is that? Yeah. Give me that cut. Fast forward just a little bit. One man, one opportunity, one ball. ESPN News. The receiver is open. Gardner Minshew. He throws the ball. But what do you know? Here's Dayron Bland, who's not so bland. He takes it away. He takes it away.
He needs some milk.
ESPN News. Dayron Bland. He is a...
Thief! Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
Yes. And the only people that's crying about the takeaway are the people that's hit with the
Emotional damage.
no one can stop Dayron Bland. Oh my gosh, if anything, man, the receivers, now y'all see what we feel like, you know? That commercial, Pepsi just signed me up for that commercial. Drink Pepsi, stay hydrated. ESPN News. Oh man, and they still talking about the play that was over the top. Was it cover 2 or was it not? You know what I mean? And, you know, let me see if I can find that play. They still talking about this play. Let me rename it because I got to save this play in here. They still talking about this play. Who responsibility? So if he would have picked it off, y'all wouldn't have said, "Hey man, he picked that ball off." Was it? It shouldn't have been his ball, you know. It shouldn't have been his response, so, you know. It shouldn't have been his responsibility. But since he didn't pick it off, it's Scott's fault, you know. Come on, man. But just last week when we played against the Jags, and Zay Jones or one of the Jones, Tupac Jones, whatever the Jones name, Marvin Jones, one of those Jones boys did the similar thing, but it was a touchdown. It was worse. It was actually worse. And everybody was saying Kelvin Joseph got burnt. Nobody was saying, "Hey, man, that was cover 2, actually, man. The kid's still young. He's still developing." No, they just said Kelvin Joseph got burnt. Look at him. Mr. 316, the movie star. I got a question, Law. With J.J. Watt retiring and his team only got 2 more games, should the Cowboys go sign him for the playoffs? No. No, that shouldn't be the situation. When you retire mid-season, the team still hold rights to you for the end of the year or however long your contract is. So that's just how it goes. Also, I know that, what's this kid named Gronk, he said that he would like to return to play football. I don't know. He ain't coming to the Cowboys, so we're going to eliminate that. Still talking about the narrow wins versus the backup. Come on. Yeah. It is Illuminati. Millionaires out there playing. Millionaires. And their team cash checks just like our team cash checks. If this game didn't mean anything and our team sat down in Indian style and said, "All right, this game don't mean anything. Just let the other team walk up and down the field. Would you still have the same results, right? Would you still have the same passion? No. Nobody want bad tape out there. They played through the echoes of the whistle. They generated 6 sacks. They forced turnovers. This wasn't a walk in the park, ladies and gentlemen. Who out there played football or any contact sports? This wasn't two-hand touch. These boys was coming after each other. But don't try to water down any victory because it's not your team. I'm just telling you guys, that's the truth and the reality of it. All of those players that was out there on the field was still a Ryan Shazier hit away. Let me repeat. All of those people were Ron Shea here. I muted myself. My bad. All of those players were a Ron Shazier hit away. But the people on the couch eating their oodles and noodles saying, oh, this ain't nothing. See, I just did it again. Now it's not muted. I was trying to play this audio. But it is what it is. Let's go.
Your one-liners already this morning,
No,
but I'd have canceled. I think I'd have canceled Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Well, look, Jerry, let's talk about the game. It was a classic.
Well, I was so proud of this team, and my hope was that we would go out as a team and really show up and do things like we did, come back from adversity, continue to just impose the will of we've got to hang in here and we've got to win this thing, success. And we did that. And, of course, Dak led the way. But I thought we did it in all phases. We were firing at them every chance we could get, and we almost made the big play on special teams, got a little penalty there that pulled that back. But still, the whole game just was one that you're proud of the way the team overcame its mistakes and just beat an outstanding team. That'll get you ready to play for the playoffs.
All right, so Jerry is thinking playoff, which he should. Spencer, Texas Jr., he says, let me see if I can get your name up here. Hey, Law, Cowboys for life. Even if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, the networks will continue to move the goalposts. You're right. I mean, but I like to be on that side of the argument. And for those who were born before the 90s and got a chance to see that, we was on that side of the argument. Remember, it was like, hey, man, Jerry Jones, and he did a horrible thing to Tom Landry, fired the Hall of Famer coach, and they are running a circus around here, which people had their rights to be mad at. And remember, it took a minute. It took about, 4 or 5 years before the program to get started. And then when we won the first Super Bowl, they were like, all right, cool, you're still a young team. Remember, when they won that Super Bowl, it was like this right here. Nobody on the defense got their respect. I think we had nobody to get into the Pro Bowl. And what the coach did, Jimmy, he used that as motivation. So a sign of a good coach or a great coach is utilizing things for motivation. So it could be the same. We didn't really start getting the respect from the Cowboys until pretty much after somewhere in between that second Super Bowl. That's when they start getting the majority of the respect. I feel you. You feel that way when Rush lost Week 6? ? Well, go back and rewind the tapes. I wanted the Cowboys to win that game, and it was a game that the Cowboys could have won, but they went away from the philosophy and the formula. Run the ball. Ezekiel Elliott was averaging 6.2 yards per tote. The Cowboys, Cooper Rush, he threw 3 interceptions in that game. Granted, I gave props to Slay. Shout out to Hell State and all of that. I gave props to your other DB. But what I said is play the field. Can anybody go back and rewind with what I said? And I appreciate you for your donation. But you ain't talking to a non-elite conversational person on football. I'm in the elite status football, conversational piece. We ain't talking to a beginner, an apprentice. I'm an elite status conversational football talk over here. And I call a spade a spade. I said that you guys on the offseason did a remarkable job of putting things around your quarterback. You guys did a remarkable job on your defense. You did. But I also said within the confines of my conversation that if Dak Prescott was healthy and out there, shoot, the same game that you might have seen out of the Chicago Bears, which gave us a good fit, we still hung 40 on them, right? So that's just the reality of it. I think that Dak Prescott got the Eagles number, and regardless of what Eagles fans say, my facts speaks volumes on that. I got historical reference, historical data that proves that I'm speaking truths when I say that Dak Prescott got the Eagles numbers. Am I lying, ladies and gentlemen? Do Rain Dakota Prescott own the Eagles, yes or no? Is he way above 500 against the Eagles, yes or no? Yes or no, y'all? Should this even be a rivalry, collectively speaking? Cowboys versus Eagles. Should this even be a rival? It shouldn't be. What can somebody, because I don't want to embarrass people, but can somebody pull up the all-time Cowboys versus Eagles record and put it in the chat? This shouldn't even be a rivalry. This shouldn't even be a rivalry. 8-3. 8-3. I'm speaking facts. They speaking feelings. We are the youngest team, but we are the team that they look up to. They was formulated and generated in 1933. The Cowboys was formulated and generated in 1960. As a franchise base and organization, we are light years ahead of them. And I got facts. So if they want to use the argument that the Cowboys only got 5 Super Bowl rings and the last time they lifted up a Lombardi trophy was in 1995 and 96 season, well, I can have the same argument that it took you from 1960 to 2017 to lift yours. And we're not even mad at you. Look, 70-54 over the Eagles. Shout out to you, Devil 06. This is not even a debate right here. That's at least 4 seasons of ownership. It'll take you literally 4 seasons to catch up. And I could be off on that number. 73-55 of all time, yeah. So when you go into conversations, you're talking to an elite status. I don't have a lot of Eagles, other content creators challenging me because they don't want to get embarrassed when I'm speaking. They listen. They sitting here watching now. They know when their father is speaking to them. Open up your ears and eyes and listen to the truth. You can't refute the truth. There's no one above the law.
Yeah, Jerry, let's talk about your quarterback, because last week we were pretty surprised that your comment made such news that Dak played outstanding against Jacksonville. We were like, yeah, obviously we agree. If he played outstanding against Jacksonville, what was that against the Eagles?
Well, I think that everything is relative. I thought that he did play well against Jacksonville. It's a shame that they ended up with the interception and the walk-off win for Jacksonville. But he came back today, Christmas Eve, and showed what happens if you don't make that mistake at the last play of the game. If you make that mistake early, does he have the stability and does he have the will to put that one behind him and go forward? And that showed that in spades. I'm talking about our game against Philadelphia. So two things there. Number one, Jacksonville's got a better team than most of us thought they had, which is credit to them. And secondly, it was good to beat Philadelphia. So we played two good teams here 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, Dak was special against the Eagles.
I got somebody
and
with
to be
some good
special,
math
you got to
for
have
it.
receivers. Jerry, a lot of
it would take 11 seasons. It would take 11 seasons of total sweeps for the Eagles to catch up. Law. Ooh, they don't have 11 seasons in them. They
Emotional, damn it.
It'll take them brothers 11 seasons. I know somebody gonna come up with some weird math on that one. Appreciate you, man. Good stuff, fam. It would take them 11 seasons. And it's a shame that as old and as great as they are, been formulated since 1933, and we was founded in 1960. It would literally take them 11 seasons. And can somebody verify? Because I trust you, brother. I trust you. Trust but verify. This shouldn't even be a debate. I'm on record of saying that if it wasn't for the NFL antitrust bill and money grabbing of situation, that we shouldn't even play in the NFC East. Because Texas is as far as west as it is, from east to west. We should be somewhere in the south at least. We shouldn't even be playing in the NFC East. But I get it. If you look at the groupings of said teams for marking ships, the Washington team, the Giants, and the Eagles, yeah, that's all East Coast. But we come out of the West and we dominate the East because we all are some beasts. You know, ain't that something? Shout out to you, Jay Worthy. Jay Worthy, the Cowboys-Eagles rivalry, 128 meetings, including playoffs. Cowboys lead 73-55. Cowboys lead 70-54. Cowboys lead 3-1 and had to super chat this law on the run. Appreciate you, fam. 3rd and 30 silence. But you know what people try to do to gain ground for their levels of intellect, far as their conversational pace? They try to use history to support their side of the argument, right? They try to take away. They try to take away history and historical reference and data and say, well, what about this year, man? Or when the last time, like 2017 wasn't 5 years ago now, right? But they try to utilize history and time frames to support their narrative. They try to leave out important references, right? Important data, important information to submit it out to the nation that they are right with wrong information. You know, what they say, partial truth equals whole lie, right? They don't want to tell the whole history. They want to tell the pieces of the history to solidify their own feelings. As what I call it,
Emotional, damn it.
questions about CeeDee Lamb throughout the year, all the Amari Cooper comparisons. It feels like he has arrived as a true number one in the biggest moments. What can you say about Lamb's development throughout the year?
Well, I think he's accentuating.
Yeah, Cowboys had all of that money before they capped America's team. Well, to really contextualize it, the Dallas Cowboys in 1989 and 1988, especially 1988, the NFL as a league was losing money overall. So now that you are in history class and you may learn something, right? That they were in a situation that the NFL needed a new formula in order to stand afloat, to stay afloat, to stay driven. So Jerry Jones and company and all of these other billionaires came out with a solution, and it's called the salary cap, so that they can spread money so that there won't be powerhouse markets, that only the powerhouse markets stand tall. So now you get market analysis from law. My wingspan is deep with this. So when we talk about this, the greater good for all, now that we do revenue sharing, so that teams can stand tall like the Cincinnati Bengals, like the New Orleans Saints, so that teams will not go under the threshold like the Minnesota Vikings, like the teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars, who weren't even implemented as a team at that time frame. It could have been the Miami Dolphins. They was losing a lot of money. Yeah, it was the Miami Dolphins. So, yes, if you want to use that as an angle that, hey, the Cowboys mismanaging their books, well, we can argue that in 1996 and 1997, when Jerry Jones sued the NFL for the individual teams to have rights to represent their own sponsors' dollarship like Nike, Pepsi, and beyond, that's when the NFL really changed and turned their tune against Jerry Jones, because no one is above everyone, right? It's supposed to be a situation where everybody is on the same page, but that's not the case nor the scenario, right? But it is what it is. It is what it is. May we all have a Merry Christmas brought to you by the Dallas Cowboys, because the same sport that you love and the same sport that you celebrate, it wouldn't even be this level if it wasn't for Jerry Jones, believe it or not. You know, I can't make this stuff up. You're rooting for a team that would have still had Rodell, right? How many people out there got Nike apparel? How many people got Reebok? I don't see a lot of people rocking Rodell. There's nothing wrong with Rodell. Shout out to Rodell. Shout out to him.
What made him such a great prospect coming out of college, he's outstanding run after catch. I don't think we've seen his best run after catch. But he also does have a real knack for just being in the right spot. He's quarterback friendly. What does all that mean? He catches the ball. He's very physical. He turns it up, and, boy, he goes to the house when he gets his hands on the ball. Yeah. And those are all things that you want in a receiver. But I'm really proud for us that these last three ball games that he's just been outstanding. And not that he hadn't played some good football before then, but you can see it coming. And we've got a lot even better days ahead for CeeDee Lamb.
Jerry, you told us on Friday that you expected T.Y. Hilton to be involved and counted on, and there's probably no bigger time to count on somebody than throwing a ball 50 yards down the field on 3rd and 30. Just talk about the play there and what you were feeling going through the emotions you went through on that 3rd and 30.
Well, first of all, I see speed. He's got that. He's had it, but he's still got it. And what I saw was savvy and just some combination of natural and experience. You notice he didn't put those hands out way early in his steps with that D-back as they were running stride for stride. And, of course, that D-back's looking for him to put those hands out so he can put his hands out, too, at the same time and try to knock the ball away. But he waited until that ball looked like it was right there in front of his eyes before he even snatched it over his shoulder. So that's veteran receiving at its very best, and of course that takes some skill too.
And Jerry, it sounds like he may have a similar impact. Tyler Smith has just talked about the Jason Peters impact, and could we maybe get something similar with T.Y. Hilton helping out CeeDee with that knowledge and the other young guys?
Man, it's just amazing catch right there. The Cowboys, remember I've been saying this for a minute, the Cowboys versus the Cowboys. We've been stuck in our own ways in a lot of things. We have been. And one of those things, whereas the Cowboys, themselves been one of those teams that, how can I put this? The Cowboys been one of those teams that had the hole on the team and refuses to fill the hole. Now, T.Y. Hilton doing things that we may have thought that we was going to get from, y'all say it with me, James Washington. We thought we was going to get some of that from him, being that deep threat guy, being the guy that can take the top off the defense. But he's been hurt all offseason, hurt majority of the season. And when he finally got out there, slant, ball hit him between the 8 and 3. He said, "Oh, my foot." So the Cowboys had to go out there and squeeze and get number 16, the 33-year-old wide receiver, who in this game had 2 pivotal catches or 2 pivotal plays that pretty much opened things up for everyone. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
Well, absolutely. And you're talking about Peters?
Yeah, the impact.
Excuse me, I didn't follow your question.
Sorry, the impact that Jason Peters has had from a knowledge standpoint with the young guys, it sounds like T.Y. could maybe impart some of that wisdom with CeeDee and some of the other younger receivers as a veteran.
You can't emphasize those points enough. Those veteran players, if you will, in Jason Peters' case, probably a Hall of Famer. And
no doubt. I like my guy Eric Stewart, man. He said some casual fans, bunch of dummies. But here's the thing. I get the argument about a person that's not from Dallas rooting for the Cowboys, right? And that's a shallow straw man's argument, because I'm from Mississippi. What team I should be rooting for if I'm from Mississippi? Right? There's no professional team. Or I met a group of people that's from the Bahamas, right? What team should they root for? Right? There's no professional football team there, right? So that's a straw man's or a weak argument. I can't stand the Dallas Mavericks. I don't like them, right? I never rooted for them. I never said, okay, I support the Dallas Mavericks. Now, for dog sure, I rooted for the Lakers, and I'm a Laker fan, so that dude fits right on in. But I was a Laker fan way before the 90s, right? And you won't see me elevating the Chicago Bulls. They were a great team, but I didn't jump on Chicago Bulls. But I'm quite sure a third of the people that's watching now love Michael Jordan, love Scottie Pippen, right? Love Tony Kukoc. They love it because they are great, right? And for what they did in the 90s. But I'm the one of the fans that say, man, I can't stand them. And Twin, he right in the chat will let you know right now. I can't stand Chicago Bulls. I can't stand. I never could. Never could. But that's because, what they did to Magic back in the days. You know how that goes, y'all. But it is what it is. Fandom is fandom. Now, when you root for your team and refuses to be a guy that's fair weathered, then that's a whole nother conversation. Because I'm for dog sure, Eric. If it's an Eagles podcast, I ain't jumping on. I ain't finna listen to them. Never. If it's a Washington podcast, I ain't finna jump on it unless it's pertaining my team. We're going to play them that week. Right? I'm quite sure there's people just like that. But it is what it is. People gravitate to what they gravitate to. That's just how it goes. Ricky Ramirez, see, he's a diehard Spurs and Cowboy fan. So what people got to stop doing are these things. If you don't go to the game, you're not a Cowboy fan. That's bullshit, right? If you not from the city, because it's straw man's argument. If you're not from the city of where your team is from, you shouldn't be rooting for them. You can't tell people who to root for. You know, that's Canadians. We got Cowboys in Canada. We got Cowboys in Hawaii. That's what makes this such a great platform. If I go to Pluto, there's a Cowboy fan saying, go Cowboys, go Law Nation. You know, I go to Guam, Brazil, you know, there's Cowboy fans. There may not be Eagles fans, though. There might not be no Eagles fans in South Africa, you know. It may not be, but in South Africa, I guarantee you there's a Cowboy fan in China, Japan. We all over the globe, baby. But that's just what we do. That's what we do. We everywhere, on all platforms, rooting for this team. Now, there's always an adversary, a detractor, haters, right? People who have less want to acquire what the ones who have most, instead of celebrating, they like to tear down, right? That's what jealousy is, right? Envy. Jealousy and envy. That's what it is. You know, it boils down to that, you know. People are so busy and fixated on the Cowboys that they forget to follow their own team. They present this part right here. Have you ever noticed when someone is doing equal, they don't tear down or put down? But when somebody is looking up, they tear down and put down, right? That's the amazing thing about life. It reveals itself. The wealth don't talk about the wealth, but the poor talk about the wealth, right? That's weird how this all works out, how life is just like the circle of life. It's crazy. I can't make this stuff up. The circle of life, Big Rigs. I'm originally from Dallas now. Never mind. Been a fan since the 70s. I know more San Francisco Steelers and Eagles fans right there in the Metroplex. So what the excuse for that? You know, Big Rig, appreciate you for that. Oh, my gosh, man. But Eric Stewart, man, appreciate you, man. We ain't picking on you. I'm just pointing out the obvious. You know what I mean? I'm just pointing out the obvious, you know. It's just what it is. But you're being entertained. That's what we do, you know. But it is what it is. Whole lot of Yankee fans, not from New York. Yeah. Baseball really couldn't get into it, you know. I like for what they bring to the table, the Yankees. In the earlier times, you know, Rangers been hot and cold. Astros been pretty good. Houston Astros. Shout out to Eastside Herald. The Braves were pretty good. Yeah, who remember the Braves being good in the mid '90s and early 2000s? Oh, New Mexico, my G. Appreciate you, Big Rig. Oh, New Mexico. You know I can't read. I got the Shady McCoy glasses on, the contacts in right now. Landlord from Alabama, man. What's happening? Law in the chat. Facts. We have 0 pro teams in Alabama, but I'm a diehard Cowboys and Spurs. I fell in love with football from the boys. Yeah. I've been trying to switch my brother mine to jump over to the Cowboys since the 80s, you know. And his team was rocking in the 80s. Who remember the Niners rocking in the 80s? And I appreciate you. My brother Twin Maker, he's a diehard Niner fan, right? And by being from Mississippi, shoot, you just take what you can, right? But it is what it is. Let's listen to more of this.
And that experience or those techniques, that little nuances in the game that you just hang on if you're a young player. That's a big part of it. But, of course, what really is important is that those guys can still do it. Jason Peters can really come in there and make a difference for us, and has and will, I think, before this thing is over.
We're talking with Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones here on 105 Through the Fan. Jerry, Deron Bland as a fifth-round pick has just been absolutely fantastic this year. Had his 5th interception the other day, now leads the team. How big has his impact been, especially when you consider losing 2 starting corners? There's not a lot of teams that could weather that with a 5th-round pick stepping in.
Well, he physically is an imposing D-back, and that's big. But to come in and play with the savvy and the awareness that he's playing is beyond expectation. Well, he's done that. He's just continuing to get better. And to make the plays that he's that not only ability to do your job and be in there and be in the right spots, which is really saying so much in that secondary, but then to be able to make the plays, the significant plays that result in turnover, that's too much. And he's been able to do that for us, and he's an outstanding young player. Boy, my guy, we got him.
Yeah, and it's not.
No doubt. Mississippi, and somebody said Mississippi would be more of a Louisiana. Like Mississippi, like it's rivalries within the states. Like Louisiana and Mississippi really don't commingle with each other, to be honest, and Alabama, all 3 of those states, you would think that, but, they did air more of the Saints games down here in Mississippi, especially where I was from, being about 80 miles from Baton Rouge or what have you, BR. But, and, of course, New Orleans is New Orleans is about an hour and a couple of change, just depending on where you're driving from. The Saints were a team that a lot of people like. Who remember Ricky? Was it Ricky Jackson? He was pretty good. But it is what it is. I couldn't stand the Saints. They showed them, and I wanted to see my Cowboys. That's the only time I got mad. I get mad at the Saints because I wanted to see my Cowboys. I've been a fan for a long time, y'all. Sin City Cowboy, what's good? Dak for MVP. Carry on. Wait a minute. Oh, my gosh, man. He's not having an MVP moment for this year for the Cowboys. For the Cowboys he is, but not for the league. Dak Prescott is MVP for the Cowboys, but not MVP for the league. I think that missing those 5 games plays a pivotal role in that category because of the fact that they look at MVP as a quarterback trophy now, right? Right, they look at it like that. Can Dak be like semi-comeback player of the year within the season? Maybe if they create an award like that, that could be a situation. But I like this team flying under the radar, and that's why I didn't want people to embellish like 7 Pro Bowls and things like that. Just continue to fly under the radar. Remember when everybody was talking about this team like being close to the 85 Bears? I said, oh, here we go. Watch how they're gonna try to make it even more difficult for us. They don't call holding on us. I believe we probably be the least holding call penalty team in the National Football League on calls that should be a penalty. That's what they should do. Create a stat line for that. Like that's a hold right there. But it's such a subjective call. It's too hard to decipher, right? Appreciate everybody. They ain't lying, Law. They tried to show the Falcons over there in Birmingham. Yeah. It was either the Falcons, you get the clip of them, or the Saints. And that's why I wanted the Cowboys to move to the West. The South market. I think that NFC South should be where the Cowboys at. This is just my thoughts of it. And just move the Panthers out of it. Take the Panthers away, move them to the NFC East, and we'll all be happy. We'll start a whole new legacy. But I get it. People be like, hey, man, I need the rivalry. I need to see the Giants. I need to see the Washington. I need to see the Cowboys versus the Eagles. But to me, would have been better if they just flipped those 2 teams. Take the Panthers, move them to the NFC East, and then just insert us right there. Woo! Yeah, I love that, boy. I think the NFL will benefit from it even more.
Not just Deron Bland that you guys were able to scoop up on day 3 that's had an impact. I mean, you got Jake Ferguson at tight end. Damone Clark has played a lot of critical snaps for you guys at linebacker. Just how important was the job that your scouting staff did this spring to really identify guys on day 3 who could contribute right away?
Well, I think those scouts are there. They're out there year-round, and they shouldn't be a player that can even spell football in this country that's eligible for the draft that we don't know about.
Right.
We've got a very experienced, thorough, and well-coached scouting department led by Will Clay. And it is important that that information gets there on the day that we make that decision. And so they do a great job. That's a year-round management. They're managed out in the fields and their visits with players and college teams. And so all of that's a very important part of it. And Will Clay leads that scouting department, and that's very critical. That's a big part. That scouting is a big part of the personnel, year-round personnel. That's not all of it because we have pro scouting.
JV, appreciate you from the Twitch. Tony Pollard, his status, he was injured. He didn't practice Monday. According to John Machota, he will practice today. And remember, we play on Thursday, so all of the days are kind of like jumbled in. And tonight we're going to jump right into the Titans talk and what this game means to the Cowboys versus Titans on the final word, okay? We'll dive deep into that tonight.
Too. And so that pro scouting has to make a big contribution, and that's how you get a T.Y. Hilton.
Now, Jerry, a couple of our guys from the station came back from the stadium, and they were talking about these cheese steaks. And I was just curious, did y'all serve up a little sirloin with some onions and some queso out there in the spirit of Philadelphia out there at the stadium with these cheese steaks on the menu?
Hey, you bet we did. We all know what Philadelphia and cheesesteaks mean, but and I've had my share of them there in Philadelphia too. But I couldn't believe it. And I think we out Philadelphia on those cheesesteaks, which is always what you're trying to do, of course. And but they do a great job. And boy, if we could play football as well as we put that macaroni and cheese and cheese steaks and things like that, if we could play football as good as we can fix that food out there and serve them up, that hospitality, we'd be a champion every year.
So, Jerry, how would you view, we're going to get to the Titans and everything coming up, but how would you view a potential rematch that it feels like the entire world would want to see? They didn't have their quarterback, but Minshew, we thought, played very, very well. You guys have had some issues defensively, but Dak Prescott carried the day. How would you view a potential third game in the postseason with these guys?
Listen up.
Well, I'd love it because that means we're more than likely well into the playoffs. And we should hope that we get a chance to, for all realistic prediction here. But the bottom line is that I think it does make for an interesting matchup. They didn't have Hurt, but Minshew played outstanding. I can't tell you how much respect I have for him. And, boy, he got that ball out quick and got it on the spot to those receivers, and that was frustrating for our pass rush. But he's a really good real good quarterback that can win a lot of games.
How many goods he just said, man? Get a room with him there, Jerry. God dog. Man, he giving all types.
I want me some glory hole.
Jerry, man, what's going on with you and Gardner? You know, God dog. Yeah, he did play. He did play pretty good, 355 yards. He had those interceptions whereas they were takeaways. Y'all remember, those boys took them away.
Thief! Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
Yes, indeed. But the Eagles, they played a real good game, right? And if the ball is oblong for a reason and the ball bounced to good spots for us, right? Things happen good for us, and the ball bounced good for us. And especially about recovering that fumble, I gave a lot of credit to Tyler Biadasz for getting in there, scooping in there, landing on the ball, and he's been doing a remarkable job. So shout out to Tyler Biadasz for picking up that fumble, because things could have been happening on a whole nother vibe for us.
But both of us have benefit from a heck of a backup quarterback. We've got Rush, and of course Rush actually in the first game played and played well and can play well. And so both teams are set up real good with our depth at the quarterback position. Now, this matchup is, of course, a must for us because it means that we're advancing, as I said earlier. So I'm so impressed with this Philadelphia team. I'm so impressed with our win over them. And it's the depth and it's the continuity they have in their offensive line in particular. But, boy, they've got about 6-7 defensive linemen that can all play. So they're going to be a tough team against anybody, including us, in the playoffs if we get there.
Jerry, the practice report came out yesterday evening, and Tony Pollard appeared.
Hold on. Did y'all hear him giving some praises, some kudos, some credence to the Eagles? He wasn't hate talking them. He was giving them credit, right? So can y'all absorb that cookie? Whether or not you want to eat it or not, just put it on your mouth or something. Just absorb some of that information in. Suck some of that information in, basically. Do what you can. Eat some of that. But he gave some real talk. He gave some good praises to the Eagles on their depths. And the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, I think that their depths is remarkable on the defensive front. You guys did a hell of a job of picking up Linval Joseph. I said that before, and you guys did a hell of a job of just making sure that your offensive line is reinforced. And let me see if I can find this clip right here. Let me see if I can find this clip so I can share it to everyone. Boom. And this is also Parsons giving praises and credence and kudos and all of that other stuff, man, to your organization. Let's listen to Parsons, what he had to say.
Well, I know what y'all do. Like, going against you, Wayne, and then that defense, bro, I didn't know what it is. Like, football players know. I know it. I just know. That's all respect. We'll see you soon. Yes, sir, bro.
So that was Michael Parsons giving credit to the Eagles offensive line, and he was saying that Mailata as well as Elaine Johnson, those boys are good. Those boys are phenomenal. And he was saying that, hey, credit to them. And he said the defense, too. He said the defense, I know my other guys know what you guys bring to the table, but credit to them, too. The whole argument of I've seen people, Bird Gang, 31, and some other Eagle fans, and even my guy, Lord Bronson, want to create and generate the argument that Hassan Reddick is better than Michael Parsons based upon the stats or what have you, for the most forced fumbles and more sacks. But if you just turn on the tape, you will see that teams tremendously game plan around Parsons. Now, I'm not going to discredit Neville, Gallimore, Osa, or any of my guys on the defensive front. But far as from a depth purposes, I think that, and far as namesake and as it relates to resume, the Eagles, y'all on top of that right now. Sweat, shout out to him. Graham, shout out to him. Shout out to your edge guys, and as well as your interior, I'm quite sure that teams try to game plan to stop the interior first. You don't want the worst thing that you want to collapse or to be penalized from a quarterback perspective is the interior. I would refuse to have a free Linval Joseph coming through the A gap. I refuse to have Sue coming in from the B gap. Right? I have to put some type of extra padded protection there versus a Hassan Reddick. People that will watch this will say, yeah, man, Reddick is cold. But Parsons, you better make sure that you chipping. You better make sure that you find out where he's at on that field. Because if you with the mindset to say, all right, we're going to let Parsons run free and double up everybody else, I promise you.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
And on top of that, so I am awake. Are you? Real talk. Right now, salary cap is not an issue. Money is not an issue. Head up right now. Would you take Reddick over Parsons? Just give me a yes or no. I don't want a long soliloquy. I don't want to have points and stuff like that. Would you take, and all Eagles fans, we're talking to the Eagles fans, the Eagles community right now. Straight up, would you take Hassan Reddick over Parsons? Let y'all speak now. Let y'all speak now. Because if y'all say, I'm just calling a spade a spade, even like I know what I can see when I see it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just trying to see. I ain't going to even lie. If we were to pick up Hassan Reddick, if we do a swap right now, if we were to swap Hassan Reddick and put him on the Cowboys and put Parsons on the Eagles, man, don't y'all know that, look, man, I will be waving a white flag over here. You know, I'll be. Y'all know good and well, like, I ain't finna lie to kick it to y'all, man. That ain't gonna be me. That ain't gonna be me, man. I ain't gonna be sitting here thinking that it would be an even trade right now if we pick up Hassan Reddick and y'all pick up Parsons, just do a swap, just swap the two. Matter of fact, I heard Bergay, shout out to him, 31. If it was a swap, like my brother, I don't know if he's in the chat, Twin Empire, I would walk from Dallas to San Francisco, and I would find me one of those things. And I would try to shoot up the place, you know, allegedly, you know, if they were to swap Hassan Reddick for Nicky Bosa. Because the Eagles community literally think that Bosa is not better than Hassan Reddick. There's no way. I would literally say, man, that's cheat code right there. That would be a flat-out cheat code. Oh, no, man. Parsons is a semi-bus law. Oh, my gosh, man. So, in your world, in the Eagles world, Hassan Reddick is better than Michael Parsons and Bosa. I can't make this stuff up, man. I'm just gonna play this audio. Let me play this audio. Let me. I can't even think right today, y'all. You know, and my mind is gone now, man. I done heard it all. You know, I done heard it all. That's okay. You know, you stand tall on what you believe in. That's what they say. Believe, do you. You know, in life, the number one goal is to figure out who you are and play that role.
On it, he did not participate with a thigh issue. Is there any question about his availability for Thursday's game against the Titans?
He looks good for the game. He really does. I know it's a short week. But we don't have him down as something that we're counting on him playing.
And you talked about, how the Eagles, it can frustrate your pass rush when Jalen Hurts is back there. There was a little bit of an issue on Saturday getting to the quarterback with Gardner Minshew back there. There were 40 dropbacks for the Eagles. There wasn't a single quarterback hit. Is there a way that teams are playing your pass rush now to try and neutralize that, or how do you fix that moving forward, trying to generate that pass rush that was so strong early in the season?
Man, how you fix that, Coach Jerry? We should go out there and trade for Hassan Reddick, right? We should ask the Eagles, would they swap Hassan Reddick for Michael Parsons, right? That's what we should do, huh? That would be the solution. And maybe we'll get the multiple sacks from there, That's what we need to do, man, according to Eagles fans. Maybe that would be a situation and scenario.
Well, let's give Minshew some credit. He was really getting that ball out. But what I was impressed with was how on the money it was when it got to the receiver. And, of course, we were coming hard.
Wait a minute, pause.
Their offensive line.
All right, man. Let me get back together, man. Let me get back together. Come on.
There wasn't a single quarterback hit. Is there a way that teams are playing your pass rush now to try and neutralize that, or how do you fix that moving forward, trying to generate that pass rush that was so strong early in the season?
Well, let's give Minshew some credit. He was really getting that ball out. But what I was impressed with was how on the money it was when it got to the receiver. And, of course, we were coming hard. Their offensive line had something to do with this conversation. But still, we were putting pressure on him. We were making that urgency in the throws, and that did help us eventually. And so when you get a quarterback pitching and throwing it out there that quick, what we're doing is going to have to be enough. And it turns out it was. And there's some things that you can do. They schemed us pretty good on a couple of those, the way they were set up their routes. They schemed it real good.
Right.
But we can work on that and get better. But, I agree with you. We'd like to have seen them touch that and get on that quarterback a little more. But overall, I'll take that. I will take that because we were hurrying it up.
Yeah, Jerry, early on in the season, we were having conversations about, the defense being great or special or elite, and that maybe they were going to have to carry the offense a little bit. Does it feel like that's flip-flopped a little bit, that the offense is now ahead of the defense, and that's where we should have a little bit more of our concern for the defense to pick things up as you get ready for the playoffs?
All right, my honest truth, we got to figure out how we can get back to our defense allowing only 20 points a game. We do. Did our defense peak? I think that we had got some injuries that happened, unfortunately, in the wrong time. And that could be Jonathan Hankins. He wasn't in our plans during the offseason, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Jonathan Hankins was a guy we picked up because of the issues we had with run. So my thing is, how can we get back to those graces of stopping teams from scoring 30 points or more or these type of things? I think that we need to stay focused and play complementary football. But on the flip side, we need to figure out a way. We need to figure out a way to fabricate pressure, get pressure somehow, and to play off of Parsons. I've seen teams, Brian Baldinger, he fooled around and showed clips of 4 guys on Parsons. Well, what happened to my other guy? If it's 4 guys on Parsons, my other guys need to stand tall. Right? Do you guys believe that Dorrance Armstrong, he fizzled out, right? Do y'all believe that we made a horrible choice of getting rid of Basham? Didn't my guy Fowler, he's been on MIA. What's going on with my guys, man? What's going on with them? We got 2 more games to correct this, right? And playoff time, we're going to have to get pressure. Whether it's fabricated or not, we're going to have to be more sustainable on stopping drives. That's just the reality of it. I don't like the fact that that we do heavily depend on turnovers or takeaways. But at this time, they've been our saving grace. Now, we didn't flip it around in good graces against the Jags, but we got to figure out a way to squeeze out some of this great stuff that we had in the first few weeks. And if we can get that – now, I'm talking to my Cowboy fans. I ain't talking to the other people that's watching, right? We just having a conversation. It's an open conversation. Open conversation to me and my Cowboys crew. I know we got the outsiders in, but y'all close your ears right now. This is important details that I'm saying. I don't have reservations, but I do have slight concerns. Slight concerns. And we got 2 more weeks to figure it out. That is what I'm trying to say. That is what Law Nation is trying to say. If we can get these 2 things to match, this level and brand of offense that we're generating now, with the first 5 weeks of the Dallas Cowboys defense, woo! It just brings so much joy to my heart if we can just get back to those days. I'm talking to ourselves, I'm talking to me, talking to you guys. I know the haters listening. They're like, Cowboys worried about their defense, y'all. Y'all listen to Law Nation Sports, man. They worry. So I'm just having my personal moment. It's not emotional. But we need to get our defense back to speed. Could it be LVE? Is that vital? Could it be Jonathan Hankins that vital? What is it? What do we need to do, y'all? Yeah, I'm looking for some solutions. Y'all help me out.
It is so close in detail on both sides of the ball. The nuances of where an interior down lineman may have lined up, or how he was doing that day against certain techniques. And so, and then you get into your linebacking, and your linebacking can have a little distortion, not distortion, but just have.
That's a good response. That's Q&A. Law, I think we are so worried about stopping the run that we are not going all out after the quarterback. So we're overanalyzing. I like that response there, Uncle Elroy. Uncle Elroy, because some point we did change up our philosophy a little bit. When was that? When was that game? All right, so we lost to the Eagles, right? When did we change up our philosophy? Let me see if I can go to here. It had to be one of these games. Had to be one of these.
Dak Prescott is raising the level.
All right, all right, ESPN. Don't try to claim that audio, ESPN. I clicked on it by mistake. What game was it? Let me go.
Dak Prescott is.
All right, come on, ESPN. Don't try to get me. All right, where's my? Here we go. Y'all bear with me. NFL teams. Schedule. Okay, it took me forever to get this. Okay. You building the plane while it's in there. All right, so 20-17 against the Cincinnati, 23-16 against the Giants, 25-10, 22-10. We we held. All right, so that, obviously the Eagles game here, they scored 26 points. That was the first time we allowed, in 5 weeks, a team scoring over 20 points. And then we played good defense against the Detroit Lions. Get it out of the way. Hold on. Let me see how many. Okay. Where did we went wrong at? We tried to change up too much against the. We played. Did we play? We didn't. We gave up too many yards. I think we started focusing in on stopping the run too much after the Chicago game. after the Chicago game. Or I could be overanalyzing this as I'm looking at this. Damn, I'm looking at this thing. We shouldn't have lost these two games. We shouldn't have lost Green Bay and Jacksonville. We only should have 2 losses. We should only have the Philadelphia loss and the Tampa Bay loss. When you really look at everything, God dog, we shot ourselves in the foot against Green Bay. We shot ourselves in the foot against Jags. But also, where did our defense kind of like stumble? I think we probably be okay. Back-to-back giving up 34 points, though. We're not that far off, y'all. I'm just looking at this schedule and looking at what we did in these few weeks. I just think we just need to get locked in. I could be biased. I'm not finna add that Anthony Brown was that much of an impact and Jordan Lewis was that much of an impact of losing these guys for the season. But they were, though. Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, and LVE. God dog, man. That's what it looks like when you look at it at the bigger picture. Let me see what y'all saying, man. Where we went wrong at on this defense. DA hurting. Okay, AJ, coach. Appreciate you, coach. I'm trying to read your comments, man. Where my shades is so I can really read. Yeah. Where we went wrong at? I'm gonna read y'all comments. Q&A time. Best medicine is rest. I think that is a situation there. Or I could be overanalyzing, you know. I think we were worried about stopping the run. This from Elroy, right? Green Bay game. Green Bay law. It was the Green Bay game. Our defense still good. Teams are starting to figure out Dan Quinn. So we have to continue to be creative in our approach. That argument that I believe that argument that I said earlier this year, we only beat ourselves. I truly believe that now. Let's be real, and I'm going to talk to my fans. Not my fans, but the Cowboy fans. I ain't talking to the Eagles. If y'all are not a Cowboy fan, this is not for you to respond. But when you look at this, when you literally look at this sheet right here, the Cowboys, even against the Philly, and put that butter knife down, Philadelphia people, even against Philly, if they were to just continue to run the ball, play the fields, and not throw that ball everywhere, we beat Philly. They won by 9 points. And I know somebody laughing. I know some people laughing right now. But these, like the Green Bay game. The Green Bay game. Run the ball, right? Play good defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars game. Know your timeouts. Game management. The Eagles game, we won that one by just capitalizing and utilizing our weapons, right? But man, oh man, we got 2 more games. We literally could have only lost the opening game. Oh my gosh, man. If you look back at everything, well, we haven't played the Titans yet, but we will see how that looks, and we got to play the Washington again. But, man, oh, man, our defense still looking good. Teams are just figuring out Dan Quinn. That is what it is, man. Man, the refs also tripping.
Have a little be off key, be off timing. And, boy, that stuff is so close. And I was in there yesterday watching with Will McClay some of our defensive reps there in the game. And you're just so close to having it executed in a way that allows us to get those pressures, allows us to get through there. We just got to continue to strive for that. But we can improve technique-wise and maybe even scheme-wise and be better at putting some pressure on that passer.
Jerry Jones right here on 105.3 The Fan. Jerry, you remember it's the holidays. Don't.
He said if we can improve. Now this coach Jerry now, scheme-wise and technique-wise. Now, whatever technique you got now is your technique. Whatever technique you got is your technique, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to see you try to change up your technique at the end of the season. Scheme-wise, I will give you that. But technique-wise, no. I don't want you to try to change up. If that's your jump shot, that's your jump shot. Ugly but deadly. Sean Marion, for the Dallas Mavericks people, fans out there, or Phoenix, whoever team he played for. Ugly but deadly. That's your technique. Now, as far as scheme, you can work on that. Maybe throw some wrinkles in there. But technique, to me, that's all off season. Maybe that's something that you were working on first week, second week, and then now in the end of it, you getting things going. Let me know if I'm wrong, y'all. You just need to work on your scheme a little bit. And here's another thing that I got to say, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want our coaching staff to get googly eyes over the Denver Broncos opening. I don't want our coaching staff to get googly eyes over the Denver Broncos coaching situation. And Denver, just because y'all out of the mix, please wait till after the Super Bowl. Don't be pulling teams. It's for all NFL. I just wish they had a committee to say, hey, when you fire your coach or when the season is over with, don't be reaching out to these teams that's in the playoffs. Don't be doing that. That just, to me, I get it, right? You want to get back on a hump. You want to insert a new guy into your philosophy and system. But don't do that. And I'm looking at the landscape. I'm looking at false hope. I'm looking at guys. I know the Rooney Rule still is well established. We got Al Harris, got Joe Witt Jr. We got a lot of brothers, man. George Edwards, on this team. Dirty, got a lot of minorities. So I don't want them to say, hey, man, the Cowboys doing pretty good. Let's call up Joe Witt Jr. And it's not even a genuine interview. And we supposed to be getting prepared for the NFC playoffs. And now Joe Witt Jr. way on the other side of the country. Talking about, hey, man, I won't have to leave y'all. Y'all continue to do what I said. And now technique, if you want to talk about that, and scheme-wise, is all thrown out. And now the players are not even focused. I don't want that. Now, granted, if Al Harris, Joe Witt Jr., Dirty, or as his name, I forgot his first name, but his last name is Dirty, or even George Edwards, if they get a job as a head coach, shoot, shout out to them. It's more flavor for us because we get some draft picks out of it now due to the new ruling or what have you. And we can parlay some picks. But that goes even to Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn fighting for a job opportunity out there in Denver or whatever. I don't like that. They need the competition committee to say, hey, when your season is over with early, that should be an evaluation time of your front office, not for going out there getting and messing up the people that fought hard to get to the playoffs. Y'all sit y'all ASS down somewhere and y'all chill till after the Super Bowl. But don't be trying to leapfrog and grab all of this attention. I can't stand that. And that's for all teams.
You get irritated with me, but we got to ask about this Sun issue with this Michael Gallup play. We've asked you before about it. People saying, Why is the sun playing a factor? You got curtains. Pull the curtains closed.
Pull the curtains, Jerry.
What did you think about that play with Michael Gallup?
Look at that
Or
sun.
this issue as it came up again after the Eagle game? Merry Christmas, by the way. Remember that.
Everybody.
That boy, he talking about leading the witness, boy.
Get your damn act together. Don't like your attitude.
He was worried about that question. He was like,
Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed as an organization about how the team is playing?
Get your damn act together yourself. Okay? We're going to have a good visit, but settle down just a little bit. I don't have the patience to jack with you today.
that boy, he would try to lay that one up like, hey, but by the way, Merry Christmas, man, and Happy Hanukkah. You know, hey, we in the spirit of giving, man. I donate to the Salvation Can. Look, he was worried.
And why is the sun playing a factor? 105.3 The Fan.
Watch this right here.
Jerry, you remember it's the holidays. Don't get irritated with me, but we got to ask about this.
Hey, Jerry, remember, this is Christmas time. It's the holidays, man. And you know, I just like the way you do walk into the stadiums, man. You moving around for an old man. But I got to ask you this, man. Don't want to ask you this, but I got to ask you this. But it's within the context of the conversation. Now, you just sound so vibrant, man. But Jerry, is there a way?
Sun issue with this Michael Gallup play. We've asked you before about it. People saying, why is the sun playing a factor? You got curtains. Pull the curtains closed. What did you think about that play with Michael Gallup or this issue as it came up again after the Eagle game?
Man, I can't wait to hear Jerry, man. But shout out to you, Mary Lawn. Hey, Law, I hope you and your family had a Merry Christmas. Come on, Dallas, get this win with a statement. Oh, yeah, well.
Dracarys.
No doubt with that. No doubt with that. Al says, be ourselves and do us. Stop thinking so much and have fun on defense.
Dracarys.
I think that would fly, too. I think that we overanalyze and stuff, man. Hey, remember the holidays, though. Remember the holidays.
Merry Christmas, by the way. Remember that.
Everybody, no problem.
Hey, Merry Christmas, man. Remember that. Remember that, man. I love you, man. Merry Christmas, man. Don't embarrass me, man, on national radio, man.
Get your damn act together. Don't like your attitude.
Oh, and Malik, what do you say, man? Oh, my gosh, man. Oh, my gosh, man. I don't know what he said, the other comment, Malik, but listen.
Well, hey, I'm not a bit, but the sun was there for both teams, and so both teams have to look for it. But, we've got about 30 coaches, and so we've got a lot of people, and then they've got assistants. And you don't have any lack of people out there that can tell everybody where that sun is. So everybody knows where the sun is on both sides of the ball.
Jerry, man, we all love you, man. Put them curtains up, man. Put those curtains up, man. Tint those windows. The sun only affect the Cowboys. Last year in the playoffs, don't you know we could have literally won that game? Cedric Wilson, ball right in his hand. He said, oh, man, I can't see the ball. We would have lost by one possession. Anything can happen. Yeah, Jerry's argument to the sun was there first. The sun was there first, y'all. The sun. That's his argument. The sun was there first. And we can clearly see that that's 6 points. You can't put a ball better on the man. He got the guy beat. Is that Bradbury? I don't know who that is. Y'all let me know who that is in the chat. But, man, he got the guy beat. It's a perfect situation. We end up getting 3 points out of that drive, juxtaposed to 6 or 7.
Jerry, how are you looking at just your overall positioning right now? We think you're going to be seeing Tom Brady in Tampa. We know that you're in with the.
That joker ran off from that question real quick, didn't it? No rebuttal? Hold on. Let me make sure.
So everybody knows where the sun is on both sides of the ball.
Jerry, how are you looking at just your overall positioning right now? We think you're going to be seeing Tom Brady in Tampa. We know that you're in. With the next few games that you have coming up, weighing maintenance and some players resting and working on some different things, just how are you feeling overall?
817 says, "Low, Dak Reed is wrong. Zeke was wide open on a fade route, flag or fade route. That is not even a read play. That's a pre-snap play. If the matchup is favorable, I got one-on-one. I would never look. I never played football in the National Football League, but I can tell you the fade route is one of the hardest positions to defend, and especially when the ball is right on the money. I would trust my quarterback to hit my wide receiver on the fade route one-on-one. We can all go back and look back at it and say, okay, go with Zeke, but that's not predetermined. The predetermined route is the fade ball. That's the money ball right there. Now, I don't know who y'all got that information from. It could be Kurt Warner or somebody. Hey, man, he should have hit Zeke. That's hindsight 2020. But that's not a predetermined read. If he had to wait for Zeke to hit the flat, don't y'all know that the timing of the fade would be off? It's a timing, no read. I got this match. It's literally to contextualize this. It's literally me being a point guard, and I'm tossing the ball to my low post man. And if it's Shaq, I'm going to use Shaq as a reference. If it's Shaq on Steph Curry down in the low post, that should be hit 10 times out of 10. If the sun, I'm using the operative word if the sun ain't there, that's a touchdown. Gallup really don't dance after the touchdown, but he's flexing. That's a clear touchdown, but he can't see. He blind. He can't see. The sun is in his face. The fade was in the sun. Zeke wasn't. Why? Would you throw the more difficult pass? No, that's pre-snap though. The quarterback. So what we're trying to have the quarterback. This is much of a harsh grade on Dak than it is a receiver. The quarterback is not. His back is against the sun. Right? So what you're trying to contextualize that the quarterback should also see through he should throw the ball. He should throw the ball to Gallup, but also see through the eyes of Gallup to see what he's seeing facing the sun, because he the one got to turn back for the ball, right? So I get what you're saying. The play should have been flipped to the other side of the field. But, man, if you just put a pair of curtains up, man, that's a touchdown, baby. You just put a pair of curtains up. Or into your world, if you hold on to the ball, because people it's two things that could be true, or two things can be true argument. Like, there's a wide open touchdown to Zeke. But also, that is actually Hal said, Hut, you're reading that and you're getting off of your read because you're not trusting your read, because somebody said you should trust your read, trust your player. I mean, you're getting off of it because of the sunlight. Although he beat his guy, you're getting off of your read to hit the guy in the flat. And normally in football, the flat guy is your last line, right? He's your last leak out guy. But, I get what you're saying, but that's hard to contextualize, man. When all you had to do is just put a pair of curtains up, man. Put it like this. The craziest thing of it all, even if the roof was open, the sun wouldn't have been so glaring. It wouldn't have been such a penetration. By it being a stadium and the lights are there, the sun is literally like a laser shooting through there. If we had no dome, the sun wouldn't even been a factor on that play, believe it or not. But by it being a dome and your windows open, the sun is beaming through there like a laser. Oh, my gosh. But I feel with what you're saying. Two things could be true argument. Like, there was money on the field, and he should have went with Zeke. But then they'll argue the fact that he didn't trust his read. He didn't trust his pre-snap read, right? One-on-one, Bradbury got up wins off of his release. Yeah. They probably do that play 1,000 times in practice. Yeah. Oh, I got him. I can't say. Dang, my bad. I bet he'd be like, dang, my bad.
All right now about y'all's position.
I feel, I'm going to knock on wood to say it, but I feel healthy. Now, we were healthy last year, and we didn't advance past the first round. And San Francisco had everything to do with that. But still, we've got to anticipate that type of game as we enter these playoffs. But we're healthy, and I think we're getting healthier. We've played more players, and we've than any year that I can remember. And so we've, I think, availability, which is a big thing in the playoff, is going to serve us well. That could be 2 games early because we're not in the playoffs yet. But I really
knock on wood, y'all.
What we are being tested on right now. These last 3 weeks for our defense has tested us. We're having to make adjustment. But as I said earlier, we're really having to, on an individual basis, refine those techniques. Well, that's what happens this time of year. These guys have been playing 15 games, 16 games. Think of the reps since training camp they've had. And so the players that don't have limitations with injury are better. The young ones certainly are better. They've been through almost 2 college seasons out there. And so we're an improved team. You can say the same thing about the other teams, but we've got the kind of team in my mind with the mix of with Dak and with the veterans we've got and these young players. Just look at Smith and Tyler Smith. He's a much better player. So these guys have a chance to be ready to go for the playoffs. I feel good about this thing.
Jerry, last offseason, there were reports about Dan Quinn interviewing for the Denver job. That job obviously just came open again on Monday. Are you anticipating, whether with that one or just other things coming up, are you anticipating getting some fielding some coordinator calls from around the league asking permission to talk to your guys?
Well, one of the things when you're having success, then you're going to have your what makes you successful looked at by your competition, and that's other teams. And so I don't.
Shout out to you, Stelios. He said Bradbury burnt like this morning toast.
Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something doesn't exist.
I appreciate you, man. Oh, my goodness. Weebo says, wear the visors. Yeah. You got to get that approved through the NFL, and you got to have specialized medical exemptions to even wear the shaded tinted visor like Zeke got. But it's one of those things, whereas put some curtains up, man. Let's listen to Jerry on this topic.
Worry about that. We've got some good rules in place that are very fair to everybody that say when you can and when you can't communicate. If you're a team looking for a coach or anticipating looking for a coach in the off season, when you can touch base with an active team, whether it's be at the end of the season or in the playoffs. That's a long-winded way of saying that we'll follow the rules. We obviously I did everything I could to keep Dan last year, and we feel the same way about it this year.
Jerry, last one, because I think this is the only opportunity to ask you for a Titans preview. You got the quick turnaround. You got the Tennessee Titans who have been struggling. How are you looking at this one coming up on Thursday night?
Don't give away too much.
Well, I think this. It's good to get back in Nashville. We haven't been there in many, many, many years. But years ago, I played Santa Claus. We were there on Christmas Eve. and I had these porcelain Santa Clauses with really well done and just detailed, unbelievable. And I gave one of those to each of our players that were away from their families that night, but I tried to play Santa Claus. And so that's probably the best part of I remember about that particular game, but that was as far back as Aikman. But I'm excited about playing over there. It is a short week. But what is exciting is that, make no mistake about it, they've got a run game that will test us, really test us. And so all this other stuff aside, we got to stop them.
And you can wear the same clothes. You don't even have to take off your boots or your jeans over there, walking into the different bars, singing.
I'll tell you what. I wish they could reverse it. I wish we could play the game and then open the bar, not have the bars open before the game. But I will tell you one thing. I sure love Nashville. I really do, and I have a great legacy. My family has quite a background on my wife's side with Vanderbilt, and a lot of her family have been over there, been at school, and long history with Vanderbilt. So,
shout out to 105.3 The Fan. That's all we're gonna utilize from their services today. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. To find the full video on that, just click that link. I just put it in the chat there. Let's go over this real quickly. The Tennessee Titans, they got a 7-8 record. They got to win out to get to the playoff, I believe, or they could be mathematically out of it. Y'all let me know. They are benching a lot of their players. They have the 22nd ranked offense. They're pretty good on special teams, third ranked special teams according to PFF, and they have the 8th ranked defense. They stout up the middle. When I look back at most of the Tennessee Titans game, they can stop the run pretty heavily. They got a nice safety by the name of is it Byard? Yeah, he's pretty good. They are a team that's sneaky. They are a team that if you jump up on them on the offense, they don't have offensive power to get things back. But they do have a running quarterback if Malik starts, right? So it could be one of those type of things. And he's not the most accurate guy. He's a one-read guy, and he's a systematic guy. But he got legs that can run, man, and that's been our Achilles' heels as it relates to that. The Titans only have to beat the Jags. Okay, so they are in the contentions. Okay, so they have to beat the Jags or what have you. So it's unique that they plan for something. Short week, no excuses. We still have to make a point that our defense can stop the run. And why not be battle-tested by two teams on the tail end that we know for sure they can run the ball, right? We know the Titans can run the ball. We know that the Washington team can run the ball. And we'll figure it out. We have to see if the Cowboys can stand tall with this. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the phone lines. But we're not going over 12:30. So whatever 12:30 is, and whoever they're waiting in the queue, I mean, it's just how it's going to go because I got thousands of things I got to do today, and I got to give some film analysis out today as well. And let's go, Cowboy Nation. 12:30. Keep that in mind, Gina. Let everybody know. So have your points together. The phone line room will be locked.
There are 3 participants in the conference.
15 till.
Please announce yourself. All participants are muted.
No question, keep it real. Whether we East Coastin' or we in the Haven Hills. In the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills. Heard you callin' bluffs, I show and prove, yeah, it's for real. Son of God, not a son of Sam. it off the books and keep it coming in. Ditch the old whip, see what I'm coming in. The inside caramel just like 100 grand. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side.
Bear with me.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Heard you move funny.
Trey, you're live.
Hey.
Hey, what's good with you, lady? Talk to me.
Yes. Okay. So, first, before we get started, I don't mean no harm. I know you don't want us to block nobody out of your life or whatever, but you're going to have to get Eric to calm down. Like, he's actually bullying people in your life, and it's kind of like irritating. So I'm just letting you know. He needs to stop that.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games and stuff, but when you jumping on here and talking about what the Eagles then did and what y'all ain't going to do and then using these little foul words, you need to calm down, sweetheart. It's not our fault that y'all lost. Not our fault.
Yeah, tell Eric, man, get out of your feelings, man. Eric.
Emotional damage.
Eric over there. Trey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add you as a mod. Somehow I'm going to figure out how to do it on Facebook. I'm going to add you. I know Jay Rish is a person that you can reach out to. He's a mod over there. He's been regulating things, and he does a wonderful job. So maybe I add you as one, you know.
Yes, please.
But what you got? What you got for this show? What you got for it?
Okay, so what I got for this show, like I said, great job, Cowboys. I don't care what we do. First, it was, we're going to lose against Minshew because the Eagles still got a 5 squad. Okay. Because y'all forget teams. I don't care who it is. Dak ain't been playing at the beginning of the season. So when y'all get through talking, when we play our rivals, that's Philly, that's the Giants, that's Washington, you're not going to beat Dak Prescott. He owns y'all. Every last one of y'all, from Daniel to who we don't even know who the quarterback is for the Washington, and to Jalen. We own y'all, period. So when we meet you again, because we will, it's going to be Dak against Jalen. That's how they want it.
Dak versus Jalen?
It's the offense against the defense.
Yeah.
So we really know what it is.
Yeah.
But we're going to tell you, when my quarterback get out there, just like he used that arm on Christmas Eve, Dak finna show all you haters, Brandon, all y'all. He finna show every last one of y'all why they gave him that money they gave him.
No doubt.
Y'all
I appreciate you, Trey.
All the way up.
Let me hear you say it before I let you roll.
The score, we're going to beat them, y'all. It's going to be like, it's going to be a crazy score.
No. You going to put it out on today? I was going to do that tomorrow. But what you say the score?
I'll hold it to tomorrow.
Hold it to tomorrow. Let me hear you say it.
How about this? How about them Cowboys then?
Let's go with that. Shoot, she ready for them Titans, boy. I got Coach Barr from the 803. You live.
Coach, hey, what's going on, Law? Quick, Law. This may be our last. This might not even be a real test because the Titans can lose this game. It all comes down to Jacksonville. Whoever wins out of Jacksonville is in. Whoever loses is out. Regardless of what the Titans lose, they lose this game. It makes no difference to them. So this game really is they're just resting a lot of players because Jacksonville is the game they got to play to get in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
So, and then. Yeah, so it really doesn't. There's no meaning game for them at all. To this, only thing it means for them to get ready for Jacksonville. Then going into the final week, I believe we're gonna sell a lot of players in Washington because if the Giants beat the Indianapolis Colts, which is Indianapolis is this pathetic. Going into the last game of the season, they're not even gonna play nobody against Philadelphia. They will be in the playoffs.
They'll be in there.
So they won't change it. So they won't change. So if the Giants beat Indianapolis, which I think they should do, they're not playing nobody against Philly because the game against Philly means nothing to them. So if Philly comes in there, it should be a cakewalk for them. So it may be a cakewalk for us to just say, all right, we're not going to win the division because the Giants are going to lay down. So this is where we at.
Okay.
Defensively, I want to say right quick, let's don't panic, people. Let's don't panic. Let's don't panic. I believe it's not an issue of players. I think it's the issue of continuity and doing our right assignments. As I look back over the films for the last couple of days, I see a lot of not in gap integrity now in this run game. Not even in gap integrity and rush lane integrity on the rushing of the quarterback. That's why we let the quarterback out the side door on a lot of things, and letting him out the side door gets us, because that means we're not collapsing the pocket and creating a crowd around him where he can't get out. We want him to go out the back door, not out the side door, and definitely not out the front door. So that's one of the things. And so I don't want our offense, and I don't want the Cowboy fans to think that, okay, now they say we turn into an offensive team, and then we start pressing and try to get to be a fast-paced, wide-open team like we here. Remember the Alamo, people. Remember the Alamo when we came out of New England last year, and Dak put on a great performance. And this is not no disclaimer to Dak.
Right.
And we thought that was the way to go for the rest of the season, of being an air raid type offense, 5 wides, and let Dak just control the game. And we got out our rhythm. Just let things come to us. Let's still keep a physical presence, and all those things will open up for us, as well as defense. I just need people like Diggs and all these people to say, hey, let's play sound football and let the turnovers come to us, but let's stop trying to guess and trying to play hero ball, and let's play sound defense, and we'll be all right.
No doubt, Coach. I appreciate how you looked at that, man. Appreciate it. No rebuttal.
All right now.
No doubt. No doubt. So basically, the Cowboys pretty much, let me go, gave up in the last 2 games 74 points. Well, now, if you 74 minus 12, because Dak had 2 pick sixes, what is it, 62? 74 minus 12, so it's 62 points. So 62 points is a lot of money, man. We're going to have to fix those things up, and especially figure out ways for this defense to horn in and get locked in for these next 2 weeks. So even like we can look at this right here, this Titans game that's coming up, this should be a game, whereas if you fool around, get that W, it'll be a mini vacation, because then you will have a long time. What, 10 games for the next one? So let's go. All right, let's go. I got 215. You're live.
What's up, Law? This is Glenn. I'm in Philly, my man.
Glenn.
Want to say, first of all, happy holidays to you and your families. Blessings. Appreciate you for all that you do.
Appreciate you, man.
Number one, and then I'm going to go on to a couple other ones real quick. I'm awake, are you? Just to let you know, my man, happy holidays to you. Blessings to your family. No violence. I wore my Dorset jersey to the vet several times. Never had a problem.
Wow.
So just to put that out there. If you watch, I don't even have the all 22, but on that play, Law, if you watch those receivers, when he threw into the sun on the other side to the flat, and I saw it during the play, the receivers actually jammed their DBs, drove them into the end zone, which created a traffic jam. 57, a linebacker, had Zeke, got caught up in that traffic jam, and Zeke was wide open. So I know what you mean by predetermined, but I also think that was kind of predetermined, because those receivers did not run routes. They jammed their D-backs and caused a traffic jam, a serious pick. When we always cry about pick plays,
right?
Zeke was wide open. And like you said yesterday, why does the sun always affect us? And like Jerry said, everybody knows about the sun. So why would you throw into the sun? It drove me crazy.
Well, it did. Now, with that being said, now can you explain that again? Can you explain it again for everyone and me as well? I was fooling around doing this over here. Go ahead.
On that play, I didn't even see this from the all 22. Yeah. I saw it from the live game. The receivers, off their break, they jammed the DBs. They created contact with the DBs. They went straight into the end zone. which created a traffic jam. 57 was Zeke's man, the linebacker. 57 got caught up in that, which created a pick. But it was just a straight up, they pushed the D-backs into the end zone, and Zeke could have rolled in. So my thing is, why throw in the sun when Zeke wide open in the shade? I think that was predetermined, because if you watch the wide receivers, once again, they came off their break and they jammed the DBs. They created the contact. So I think throwing it to the wide receiver, I think that's where we get caught up for the sexy play. Once again, Dak trying to prove his money, Kelvin, all this try to prove the money. You don't need the sexy play. The fade is a lower percentage than the flat. Am I correct?
The fade is a lower percentage, but when you throw the fade ball, like we all know, like you're going to trust your quarterback to hit the fade route, and that's what's the number one thing with Dez Bryant when he was playing. Tony Romo dropping back, hitting that fade route. That's what made him put Mr. Touchdown. That's why he missed a touchdown for the Cowboys. I trust that predetermined snap that drop 1, 2, 3. It's a 3 snap. It's 3. Is it 3 drop back? 1, 2, 3 ball out, right? So that's just how that play goes. Now hindsight is 20/20. Even if you go back, I crucified Dak on this one. There was a play in the playoff last year. Fred Warner slipped down, and it was similar. And Zeke was wide open, and he went to the outside. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we got great recall. We got great recall. But one place that I don't want Dak to throw it is in the middle of the field, though. I want in those.
It was ironic.
Yep.
That was ironic, though. He hit CeeDee down the middle. I was like, "Whoa, really? Down the middle of the field?"
Yep.
Remember he hit CeeDee?
I'm talking about in the end zone. I'm talking about in red zone, money zone, end zone. Okay. That's fade ball. When you get to the 20, I want quarterbacks to hit fade routes. But I appreciate you, fam.
I got you.
Appreciate you. Glenn out of Philly, y'all. Glenn out of Philly. Queen, you're next. You're live from the 910.
Hello.
Hey.
How you doing,
what's going
Lo?
on? Doing great. Can't complain.
Can you hear me pretty good?
Yep, I can hear you pretty good.
Okay. I need to start writing down what I'm gonna say when I get on the, call in for your show.
That's all
because
good.
by the time you pick me up, I be done forgot more than half of what it was that I wanted to say. I mean, I be having it all mapped out in my head. Yeah. Anyway, the Eagles the creators, content creators.
Content creators.
I
yeah.
noticed that they are, huh?
Yeah, content creators. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that they are very quiet. Don't hear anything from them. They don't have anything to say. The cat got the tongue. So they must be still salty about that loss.
No doubt.
And Dak, he played an elite game, in my opinion, against the Eagles. Elite. And I don't know what I guess people consider a person elite when they win a Super Bowl. But there are some quarterbacks that were considered elite that did not win a Super Bowl. So, like we say, they always move the goalposts when it comes to the Cowboys.
No doubt.
I'm glad that we acquired T.Y. Hilton. He seems to be a very good pickup. And I see some progression in CeeDee. Every time he gets someone around that's like a mentoring, level, it seems like his game picks up. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you, Queen. You right on the money. I hear you. I hear you with all of that. Let me hear you say it.
Okay. I'm going to let you go. I'm probably talking too much.
No, you good. Let me hear you say it, though.
Let them hang, Cowboy Nation.
Let them hang, man. Let them hang. That's the sound of the man working on a train. Yeah. Jake, You're live. The great. 5, 4, 3. Jake. Call back, Jake. Well, tomorrow. All right. We got these people in here, man. Lady, you're live, Jessica.
Hey, Ron. Hey, everybody.
All is well. Can't complain.
That's good. Mom is sitting up here playing on her phone.
That's good. She's up and moving. Playing on the phone. That's a good thing to know. You know.
Mm-hmm. She's still in the hospital.
She's still in there? Okay. We praying for you.
Yeah, but Law, the thing about it is Dak did what Dak always do. The thing that changed is that everybody caught every ball like they were supposed to, most of them. Like they were supposed to. CeeDee caught 10 out of 11 in complete passes.
Okay.
CeeDee held on to the ball. CeeDee had 120 yards. CeeDee was 65.6 or 63.6.
Right.
And 13.3 or 6, something like 5 or something like that on his. And that T.Y. Hilton did 30 for 30.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that matter, Law, is them to do what you say. What you always say at the end of the show, if you want something good, bad enough, you got to get out there and work for it, work day and night for it. And the gassy, however you do, I can't get it all together.
You got it.
But I did tweet that out. I did tweet that out on my page. And what you just said, you need to tweet that out so the boys can see that. You know what I'm saying? Your ideas you have for our team, y'all need to start tweeting it because they see that, Law. They pay attention to us. Are y'all not seeing that? Are y'all not seeing that our boys are paying attention? Are y'all not? They getting out there and they doing what we say on your show. I believe somebody's listening and they taking these nuggets and they putting it out there when it come down to practice. Because I'm telling you, I'm seeing everything that we say that they need to do.
No
and
doubt.
all we got to do is keep believing. Don't let nobody take you off of your team faith that you have for them, because these Eagle fans, they just mad. They salty. These people are salty. That's why they keep coming up in y'all chat talking crazy. I can't be like I hype like I want to because I'm in this hospital. But y'all, let me tell y'all something. How about them Cowboys? Let's go whoop them Titans, and we ain't finna play softball.
No way. We ain't finna lay down for no one. Yeah. Appreciate you, Lady Jessica. Hey, man, I'm telling people, man, everybody like one hit away from Ryan Shazier. And I'm not using him as, a punching bag here. But the moment you, and I'm not saying that this happened to the kid either, but the moment you don't play full speed, that's when major injuries occur. Shoot, so it's hard work or nothing, man, going up against the Titans. They getting the check just like we are, or they are. All right, I got from the 206. This MJ, you live.
What's up, Law Nation? Loving the show. Get something out real quick. If I had it my way, I'm starting that big D tackle, because you know I love defense.
Right.
Putting that big D tackle in, because the other D tackles ain't doing nothing. You put that big D tackle in because ain't nobody running on them. And playoffs, him hanking in the middle, that's going to help the DNs. And then I'm going to start D-Law with either other on the side, and I'm going to keep Parsons on D-Law side as a linebacker. So now your pass rush going to get better. Now they can't run up the middle. My corners man bump and run. That defense will start stopping people from scoring 20 points if you play this way. If you keep them a little bit, them other D tackles ain't getting no pass rush. That's why the quarterback, because you don't want to play against Rodgers and Brady like that.
No doubt.
If he stay back there, he gonna tear our butt up. Especially if he don't play bump and run. You better stop playing around, guys, because the key for us is to go to that Super Bowl. Now, we should have had 50 points, but that boy dropped that ball, even though it was a light. I don't care if it was a light, wind, or whatever. That was a perfect pass. He should have caught that ball. I wish that was number 16.
Appreciate you, MJ. It's a good call from him, man. All right, speeding through.
The conference has been locked.
Press Ham, you live.
God dang, I don't know. What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Hey, man, I got a couple things.
Talk to me, man.
I got to get Dak his flowers, man. He showed up and did his thing. And this the frustration with me with Dak. We don't know what we going to get out of him. But I got to give him his flowers, man. He showed up and he did his thing after we spotted him 10. And then another thing, too, now, why our DBs don't play that bump and run like that to jam and receive?
Because we play cover 3.
They play it a lot. You can't bump and run in cover 3?
You can, but they off. You want your line backers in your front to get upfield. Those guys dropping back in the zone, off ball, 5-6 yards. So you want to play 3-man. You want to play what? 2-man or 3-man? What? 2-man under. Now, it's gonna be kind of hard for them to press off. You can do one side and then rotate it, but we cover 3, fam.
Right? Yeah, I would rather put the bump on the strong side, whichever the number 1 receiver is. If that was
No doubt, press, man. But we'll get into that a little later on. But appreciate you, man. Brandon, you're live from the 815.
What's up, Lau? My question for you to answer later, is like, so if you was watching our D line, we was getting thrown out the party a little often in the interior.
Yeah.
To me, in the off season, is this a position of need? Is this your number 1 position of need, either D tackle or wide receiver? And I also want to say, look, I know people are really down, like for some odd reason, like our defense is, we down on the defense. But if I told you 2 years in a row, your defense would lead the league in turnovers, be maybe top 5 in sacks, you would take that. Let's not forget our defense set up our offense 4 times in positive territory.
No doubt, Brandon.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them, man? Yeah, the defense is doing their job on turnovers, and if it's a consecutive way, yeah, they'll be good. But it's hard press, man. We just gave up over 450 yards to the Eagles, and then the week before that, we gave up 503 yards against the Jags. Although, we 1-1 in those 2 situations of outcome, our defense, we're gonna have to figure that out, because in the playoff, it gets treacherous. All right, we got Uncle Dave. You live?
Hey, what's going on, Law?
Nothing to it.
Hey, first chance you get, explain to the people about the first 15 scripted plays at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 1. Number 2, when I say bacon burnt, that's what happened to Bradbury. Bacon burnt. But that son has been here 4 billion plus years, so son was there first.
Yeah, he was
so
first.
We'll get that
was
out
there first.
That's done.
Jerry was right on that.
That's done. And I'll give a shout out to Lady J. Get those prayers up. Put them angels and them prayer hands together for a mama, for speedy recovery. And you have a good holiday there, Law.
Appreciate you.
Hug the one you love. Stay close to family. And
certainly.
Anybody out there that has disputes with your family, yeah, Jesus had disputes with his family, but he didn't disown them.
No doubt.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them? All right, we got Coach AJ. You live?
What up, Law?
Nothing to it, Chief.
Today, I watched the post show for the Eagles. They gave Dak Prescott more love than our own fans do. Maybe Brandon should go over there and watch that show, because about 15 minutes into it, he said, the guy just point blank, yeah, we played with a backup quarterback, but we didn't play with a backup defense. And he was slicing and dicing our defense. He said, And then the next thing out of the guy's mouth was, you do realize we shut down the run, and he was 99% against the zone. They said no matter. And then they came up with Slay got toasted too. He was getting his work. Yeah. And the guy just pretty much said, Dak Prescott beat us quite a bit, folks. So do you really want to play the Cowboys in the playoffs? And the guy goes, yeah. He said, I probably don't want to play them. I probably want to play somebody else.
No doubt, Coach.
So may you have a blessed day. And love all, and I'll pray for Lady Jessica and Mrs. Queen. You have a fantastic voice. You ladies keep this show going. Thank you, Law. You are the best.
I appreciate you, Coach. That's a good call for Coach. All right. We got down to 3 callers, and we got up to, it's 2:28. D Shift. What's good? You live.
Man, Law, I like what Dak did with running the ball a couple of times, man. That's kind of gives me some hope that he's going to pull it down. And I think he can make some plays, and he has the confidence to do what he can to beat a defender. But I think he's just going to kind of put that aside and just extend those drives. So that was kind of cool to see. Also, Law, would you rather have 9 turnovers over 3 games or 1 sack?
Give me
9 turnovers and 1 sack, or 1 turnover and 9 sacks.
Give me them turnovers, man. I mean, I got the ball. I got the opportunity, man. Bump them sacks.
So, yeah, points aside, I think the defense, they make up for it. So let's give it a couple more weeks until we kind of get down on this defense. But all right, Law.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. All right. Got 1 minute left. Darius. We got actually. I'm gonna let these people go, man. Darius, you're live.
Law, can you please do a day run blend? Welcome to the Law Nation Field Session on the 5 picks of day run blend in the 16 PVU. Please, man. I literally watched that game from start to finish. Like I smoke good weed. I smoke good weed.
Man.
But listen to me. I got high off that game. I didn't even smoke that every day. You better believe it, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And so I just really would like that. And to me, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I would start Nation right, even if Anthony Brown was not hurt. If he was healthy, I would start Nation right over Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown don't want that smoke. Nation Wright want all the smoke, tackling. We got one of the best slot corners in the game, and that's proven. I'm looking at the list of interceptions, hands down. You know how hard it is to find a slot corner?
Man.
They run Bland is it, man. So that's all I got to say.
Appreciate you, man. We down to the last 2 callers. We're going to go overtime with them. All right, so I got Waco, and then I'm going to end it with 9 to 92. So you're live for the 254. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. Hit him with the Gilly the Kid. You alive. Shout out to Gilly the Kid, man. All right, man. From the 9-2, you're live. Well, 1992, you're live. My bad. You're live, fam.
That's all good. How you doing, Law? And, man, you the best. You ain't nothing but the best, bro. Keep it up, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
I'm going to say this.
Yo.
The stars are lining up.
Uh-huh.
Y'all can see it. You can't be blind if you don't see this.
Right.
It was already written to happen. It was already written to happen.
Right.
They wanted to see the Eagles and Cowboys, but guess what? You're going to get the Eagles and Cowboys.
Come on, let's go.
NFC Championship or NFC the division round. Either one, we're going to kick their behind.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell you like this.
Get in
We're going to play Buffalo.
Right.
Buffalo. That's the team. Brother versus brother. Come on, Diggs versus Diggs. The world want to see this.
Let's go.
They want to see Ali.
Yeah.
Let's get this, man. We're going to get this 6th ring, and we're going to make all them haters shut up about Dak, whether in the Cowboy Nation or outside of Cowboy Nation. we're going to get sick. And guess what? How about them Cowboys, haters?
Wait! Man, that boy off the top rope, y'all. Say the best caller for last, baby. Yeah, baby. Man, had to put the helmet on, boo. Let's go. Let's go with it, man. Hey, y'all, this is what I like. This is what I love. When I get somebody in there and they jumping in, they got their points together, they ready to swing some fights. My goodness. Hey, he already came in with that mindset that, hey, man, we the best, baby. And it's going to be big brother versus little brother. And that's okay. Let this season be magical. I would love to repeat. The repeat of the Dallas Cowboys versus the Buffalo Bills. Y'all know how this thing go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to you, Coach Marv. Shout out to y'all, man, that's tuning in. Shout out to those who called. Shout out to everybody, man, that was in here. Appreciate y'all so much. Coach Marv says, let's get Gilmore off the milk carton and off social media because we need everybody ready to go. Yes, be good. Appreciate y'all. And where is Jabril Cox? We need speed. Somebody, anybody, can y'all listen to what I've said? We need speed. And that's what I believe Jabril Cox will bring to the table, man. I believe, just like what my guy said about Nashawn Wright, is that we were going to see something good out of Jabril Cox when he's given the opportunity. I think that the Cowboys being coy with him. I truly believe that we need to see him out there on the field. And let's go, Cowboy Nation. I just think that that's what we need to do down the line. I don't know why they putting bubble wraps all over him, but that's just how it goes, Cowboy Nation. Unfortunately, as you guys hear my voice, as you guys understand what I'm about to say, I'm glad that Lady Jessica said that she reposted what I said about determination and being hungry, about being in the mindset of not letting anything left on the table. I love when I hear those moments. I love when I feel those things. Cowboy Nation, as we got the shovel in the hand, it's time for us to stand tall. It's time for us to dig out these things for the opportunity for your mind and the opportunity for the skill set of the players to be elevated, regulated. We got 2 more games. And although the Tennessee Titans may be saying that they're going to lay down and rest their guys, well, there's no rest here. There's no chilling. There's no, we got the award. There's no, hey, we in the playoff. Now we can sit back and eat all oodles and noodles. But the time right now, Cowboy Nation and everyone that's listening, is for us to lock in. Measure twice, cut once. Shout out to you, JD from DC. Preach law. I got you. Shout out to you, Presley, not Elvis. Shout out to you, we them boys. Give you a double time for the 2020 for your mind. But write this down. Store it, not just into your mind, but see if you can find a spot somewhere in your heart to keep this right here, near and dear to you. As the truth resonates in your mind, heart, sinew, write this down. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all other things tawny and cheap. If life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of your mind for it, if you would simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness, or body, or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, If dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of Almighty. When I was sleeping out of my car, I memorized that and I put it to my heart. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Law Nation don't have to sleep out of a car. The elevation is true. Manifestation is real. It's the mindset. You don't even have to be a Cowboy fan to understand that. Press Ham, appreciate you. Law going in, baby. Paul, ask yourself, if you die hard fans or fair weather fan, is it DC for life, for a reason? I tell people this, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. A lot of people say they'll roll with you. A lot of people say they will rock with you. But when the triples of the pains and the pains bring forth the fire, will they jump in with you? No. That's not the case nor the scenario. Some people are only with you when you're winning. Some people are only with you when you are grooving. I want to know who is with the nation. Win, lose, or draw. Unconditionally, are you supporting this team? Unconditionally, are you rocking with this team? Unconditionally, are you with Law Nation? And that's been my time. I really thank you and you and you for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Now let me say this. Roll those credits for everyone that supported this station. Let's go. And run it up, baby.
I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Count a check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up.
Count that too, baby.
Need them ones, I need them fives. Need them tens, I need that change. Till the safe got blues inside.
Come on.
Greens and pinks.
Thank y'all for your prayers. Thank y'all for your prayers. Thank y'all for your prayers. Let's go to the game.
I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. Use the size off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it.
Come on.
Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer.
Call it too legit.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately,
Hey, what's going on, man?
Don't need no deals, I make the deal.
Y'all still mad? Why y'all mad?
Run it up.
Come on.
Yeah.
Got some breaking news.
We answered. I talked stuff. I thought we had it. But it goes to show you who's a better team. And I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
Why you crying?
Hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flap the hat one more time for the Eagles?
Emotional, damn it. Let's go, birds fly, Eagles fly. Still Super Bowl chance for now.
Hey, man, why is he crying over here, man? Put some flashes on this screen, baby. What's going on, Monty? Look, I know for one thing for sure, two things for certain. I don't have to take a shot for those Eagles this week, tomorrow when I have the twin maker on, because I finally, it took me over 14 weeks to get this thing going. Well, I did Shout out to the Washington team for holding that a good W up against the Eagles. But finally, baby, shout out to y'all, man, so much. Come on. Hey, you crying. I guarantee you. She got Cowboys lingerie on up under there. She's an informant, y'all. Yeah, she loved the Cowboys. I promise you, that lady. That boy cried. He said, still we got a Super Bowl for now, though. Let's watch T.Y. one more time, baby. Yeah. There's some flashes on it, though. Come on. And you. Let's play it back. Put that on repeat.
You know it's dangerous to go alone.
Bruh.
Don't let the street lights
hit you.
Can I be your player too?
Sing it with me. I follow. Wherever you go, baby.
Whatever you do, player too.
Get that bird out of here.
7 more and another one.
And another one.
And another one.
Come on.
I think you was the one to love. 7 wonders all in one. All in one. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone.
Come on, y'all. Sing it with me.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your
Somebody be waiting for this song. I follow.
I've got balls of steel.
Come on.
Whatever you do,
Suck.
Come on. Watch this note right here.
If a paper crane
That boy gets
fly,
sight.
then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on.
Hush your mouth, girl.
Fly on, fly on.
Them boys good, boy. Them boys good, man. I tell you the truth. Let me get on up out of here, man. One love, y'all. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Even with the sunlight.
Biggest fan.
Them street lights.
They're
Jerry.
really tough and they're really rough.
There's reverse hustling over here, man.
But there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Get your damn act together. Don't like your act.
Peace. If I offended anyone today, charge it to my head. Definitely not my heart. Pull them blinds down, Jerry. Where them curtains at? Where is that 2-for-1 tent special? Who got that limo tent ready? Come on.
Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
I know Earl can put some tent on that thing. Everybody knows somebody named Earl that do tent on the side. I know y'all know a Earl. Earl can put some tent on a Monte Carlo, a Honda Civic, and a Ford Tempo at the same time. Earl Tinty 101. I'm like, I'm going down to Earl's, man. He'll get that limo tent for me, and he got the card. So when the po-pos pull me over, I just showed them the card. Earl got that hookup. Now for the card, it's gonna be an extra $300. Come on. Who know about Earl?
Now, so the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play for you?
Like, this motherfucker don't miss. That motherfucker don't miss, man. He's good. In the heat of battle, he don't miss. In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
Shout out to Earl. Money. Appreciate you. Oh, hold on. I know my Cowboys community would not allow Kenneth Harris to outdo y'all with those emojis. Come on, man. Hey, y'all, let me see some blue hearts in there, man. They gonna run this one back. Hold on, I know I'm supposed to leave. I need to see some blue hearts in there.
But there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't
Come on, y'all.
I ran up a check, I might do it again.
I need to see some blue hearts, man, in the chat.
10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands.
Come on.
So many years, I've been
There we go, we got one.
I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins.
There we go, we got 2, 3, 4.
If I do it once, I do it again.
Come on.
Add it up.
Hey.
Bankroll, euro, peso.
Yep. Let me see them blue hearts up in there, man. Is there a heart in the house tonight? Come on. There we go. There we go, baby. Woo! We can leave now. I'm about to get mad. I only saw some green hearts in there. Come on, y'all know better than that. Let me get out of here now. There we go. Blue hearts.
Like a Mack truck, country heart. I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month. I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro.
He needs some milk.
Add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Until next time, DC for life.
It's all me, everything is